I want to be clear, this isn't supposed to be like a tea video or anything like that, and that's why I'm like trying to be like clear on that as I'm talking. But it is to talk about like the realities of the first year. Like, it is to talk about the realities of what this first year taught me. It is to talk about the reality that y'all saw me laughing on live streams. Y'all saw me, you know, in my videos smiling and cracking jokes and singing songs. But you guys didn't necessarily get to see and understand all the things that were going on because I chose to use this YouTube platform. Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Cashay and you're watching Shay with the Hobbies. It is day 2 of the 2020 Kwanzaathon. It is Sunday, December 27th, and today is Kujichagulia, which means self-determination. And today's theme for the video is looking back on 2020 and going forward into 2021. And so this is gonna kind of be like a mini year in review where I just kind of like talk about like the things that kind of happened over the year, and then like what I'm doing preparing into the new year. So not necessarily goals or anything, but just things that I'm taking with me that I learned from 2020 into 2021. So okay, so I'll be honest, like January was a hard month for me, and I was coming off of a crazy last couple of weeks of 2019, and by far 2019 was the hardest year of my life. Like 2020 has been a tumultuous year for like the world, but 2020 ain't got nothing on how hard 2019 was for me. And so starting 2020, I had to start it with the funeral of my cousin who was killed by police officers, and that like started the year off really rocky for me. And I just started my channel. I had done like the booktube newbie tag. I had done like just a few tags, but like January was me like trying to start. February came, and like the first conversations of Corona started, and I got the flu for the first like memorable time of my life. So if I had it as a kid, I have no memory of it. I've never had it as an adult. And y'all, let me tell you, I don't know how people deal with getting the flu multiple times a year, because like, no, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, like to have on a regular basis. Like no, like no. So February I didn't put out any videos. March comes, and I start trying to get into vlogging, and I start to make friends in the community. So I'm streaming with Jace and Meadow and Amber, and I'm getting to know Carol and Dana and Tamara, and so like I'm like getting my feet wet in the community. And April comes, and it's time for camp, and I tell myself like I'm going to attempt camp, and I don't even attempt it. I really don't. I don't even remember. Did I tell myself? I think I tried, or I was gonna try. The NaNoWriMos of the year, like camp in April, camp in July, Nano in November, just were not things for me this year. Which is not to say that I wasn't productive, because I definitely was. So we have that, and then we get into May. And May is where I'm like, okay, let me try to put out my first like writing vlogs, and I do that. And then we have the death of George Floyd and the information that comes forth about Breonna Taylor and Elijah McClain, and it's like all these things are coming to light. And so I get thrust into a situation where I'm having to navigate these newfound allies, these self-proclaimed accomplices, and honestly a lot of performative activism at a time when the black community was struggling. I wrote a piece called Black Rage, and For what it's worth, Black Rage started me having conversations with other author tubers that I had been watching since the previous year, and was like, ooh, like I can see me being friends with that person. And so it kind of opened the door for me to have conversations and dialogue with those people, and that was exciting. And then in May, we are sitting in the middle of the live stream, and we come up with this idea to do a virtual writing retreat. And I am super duper excited because, I mean, like, I love to physically put on things. Like, when I was in college, I loved to be a part of making events happen. I love to do stuff, like, together as family. So I was super excited to be a part of this. And it started what became, like, the most stressful time in 2020 for me. And so, you know, June comes and we're working on this all behind the scenes and nobody knows, and like we're keeping it under wraps, and we're, you know, connecting with people, and I'm getting to stream with people I've never streamed with. I'm getting shout outs from people I never got shout outs from, and my YouTube channel starts to grow. And it's in this moment where I begin to realize that everybody that's in my circle isn't for me. And July comes, and before we even get halfway through the month, shit hits the fan. Excuse my language. Y'all know I don't cuss a whole bunch on here, but I will tell y'all, like, y'all know I do cuss. Like, I'm not going to act like I don't. But it hit the fan. And it sent me down a very, very bad emotional spiral. Because I began to, like, retreat in myself and stop talking to people, and I began to have, like, a lot of anger because of how situations were going and playing out, and the fact that I was like, I'm biting my tongue, I'm not saying anything, I'm keeping these things to myself. And it seemed like all these things were going on outside to, like, push me into that. And as bad as that situation started and ended up being and whatnot for me, it created an environment for my relationship with Sid and Grayson and the Naked Firefly and Olamide to blossom. Because within this, we were all going through this situation at the same time. And even though, like, I was kind of like the center of it and it was, like, affecting me the most, I had these people I could rely on who, like, knew the truth and knew what was going on and wasn't turning their back on me because it looked like it would be in their best interest. And so the retreat happens, and we make it through that, and I continue going on, you know, doing my business. I, you know, start writing Penelope's Curve, and I think that I'm ready to put it out, and I'm like, nope, let me hold off. And so August comes, and my channel is still growing and is doing amazing, and I'm nervous about it because I get all these moments during my streams where people are like, oh, you've reached this subscriber count, oh, you've reached this, and I'm constantly being told how it doesn't happen this fast for other people, how this isn't normal. And I have to deal with these, like kind of like just gossiping and rumors that, like, are starting and going on. And I'm like, nope, I'm going to keep my blinders on. I'm running my race. I'm like, and that's what I do. And so I put out Penelope's Curve. And it is the most exciting, nervous feeling ever, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm happy about it. And then shit hits the fan again, right? And I get thrown into some very public drama this time. So not as much drama that's on the back end and only the people involved really know, but I get involved in drama because people decide to make live streams about me, about things that they've heard, not things that they've seen, nothing that I've actually done, but how people have perceived the actions that were done. And I act with respect. I don't name call. I don't go after people. Like, I go through the process of clearing my name, and that's it. Right? And it's in this time that I go through another depression. And the depression that I got was, that I came to have to deal with, came from the fact that just a few months ago, everybody was Black Lives Matter, and I'm here to be an ally for black people, and I'm not an ally, I'm an accomplice. But as soon as someone said something negative about one of the only black people in this space, everyone jumped on the negative things. Nobody asked if anything that was being said was true. I put the blinders on because I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to deal with this community anymore. Like, the number of quote-unquote AuthorTube people or spectators that jumped in on that was astonishing to me. I'm gonna go with CreatorTube because I think it fits me better, and it means that I don't get pushed in just these boxes with these writers who don't necessarily do too much else but write. Like, because I've always done more. Like, I've always done the crochet chit chats. Like, it's always been about doing more than just writing on my channel. And so because of that, I just focused on doing the stuff that I wanted to do with my channel. And October comes and I get an email for a collab with NaNoWriMo. And I am super duper excited because my channel wasn't monetized at the time. I think I had maybe 800 subscribers when they asked me to do this, and I was like, yo, somebody saw my channel and saw what I was doing despite all this BS and wanted to work with me, and I was super duper excited. And so I kept that, I kept that between the people closest to me. And then November came, and I not only got to do the video for NaNoWriMo, but I also got to do a live stream. And it was the most nerve-wracking, like, crazy thing. But it, like, proved to me that somebody was watching what I was doing, and they were telling me I was doing a good job. Like, I don't know. I don't know what made them choose me. I don't know how they found my channel. But I will say that it helped to bring me out of that depression. It helped me to not be depressed and to focus on the fact that, yeah, negative things happened, but those negative things didn't take away from what I was doing, trying to do, or had done. And that was a really, really great feeling. October, November, December, I focused on finding critique partners to get my writing better and tighter. I focused on writing more. I focused on reading craft books. I focused on reading books in the genres that I wanted to write in. And I, for all intents and purposes, went back to not making videos. Now, I was recording all the time, and there will be videos that do come out, like, after this with the footage from October and November and December. But I wasn't focusing my time on making videos. I was focusing on my time on working, because I realized that this YouTube part of it was becoming way too stressful for me. And it was making me very frustrated and sad and upset. But I still wanted to be a part of it because I saw the good that it could have. All I did these last 3 months was work on making that community on my channel strong. So it was getting to know my subscribers, reaching out to them privately, like, hey, yo, hey, can we talk? Like, hey, you know, there's a couple of them that I was like, yo, would you like to be my critique partner? Like, I see how much you put into your work, and I'm intrigued by the things that you write, and I think that we could help each other. And they have turned out to be some of the best writing relationships that I have had this year. So looking back over all that I took you through and going forward into 2021, those negative things came, they don't outweigh the benefits that came from this year. I'm a stronger writer. I've got a story out there that has almost been read at least 300 different times. I have gotten my channel to the point that it is monetized. And I've gotten almost 100 subscribers every month for the year that I've been doing this. I am a part of a writing community with over a dozen black writers, and we get to talk about what it is that we love writing. We get to have discussions about the type of stories we want to tell and the process that we want to go through. And I didn't have that a year ago. And so when I'm looking to go forward into 2021, I'm excited because I've learned that I can do these things. One, I can finish a story. I know that I can finish a story as an adult because I did it multiple times this year. One, to the point where I was ready for the world to see it. And that is an exciting, exhilarating feeling. The thing I am the most thankful for are the relationships that I have that are still going strong here at the end of 2020. I am thankful for meeting Becca. She has been such a great inspiration. She has been somebody that I can talk to about like my thoughts about a story and what I'm going through. And if I have a bad day, like I can talk to her about that. And y'all, like when I watched her videos when I didn't have, she had no clue who I was like, I know we could be friends, and I am so glad to be able to call her a friend now. I think about the Naked Firefly and how I saw her in a video, in a live stream, and we started talking because of one of my favorite children's books, Mufaro's Beautiful Daughters. And from that conversation in that live stream, like the same day, next day, we were like this. And I have went through more things with her than anybody else that I met this year, and she has been unwavering. And to meet an older black woman, and not to say old like because she's not old, but just older than me. So to meet an older black woman, because I don't have big sisters in real life. Like all I have a bunch of brothers and one little sister. And to get this like big sister who is genuinely a big sister and reminding me like, hey, you don't have to speak on that right now. Hey, keep your head up. Like don't let your crown falter because of what's going on. Like I didn't realize how much I needed that, and I'm so thankful for her. Catalea, yo, the way that they are has reminded me to always be unapologetically black, because if there is one thing Catalea is going to do, they gonna be unapologetically black, and you ain't gonna miss it. And their love for history has made me dive into stories and learn more. Like I've learned so much about deaf culture and deaf black history, and I've learned so much about trans culture and trans black history because of them. And I would be remiss to not highlight the positive effect they've had on me as a person this year. And then I met Grayson, and the fact that I have a brother that I can talk to about things in the queer community that I don't understand without judgment and without the fear of being labeled something negative because I ask questions is like the biggest blessing ever. Like it makes me feel good, and to know that I have someone who cares about me as much as I care about them make me feel great. Like, Grayson is like one of those big brothers, like, you not gonna mess with my sis, and that's just the end of it. And there is so much good that is in that. There is so much in there that is great, and it's amazing, and it's strong, and it made me feel instantly like this is someone who go to war for me, and I can go to war for them and not feel like I'm gonna look stupid after it, like, you know. And so then I met Sid, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all, like, I was determined to get Sid to talk to me because I was like, yo, this is a black man who's a photographer. Yo, let's link up. And when I tell you that Sid has taught me so much about dealing with and understanding other people, I am humbled by the fact that he calls me his big sister. Like, I strive every day to be worthy of the support that he gives. He is the most supportive person I have seen in this YouTube community. Like, people that I didn't even know had channels, he would tell me about, and then I'm in their live streams watching as much as I can. And I want to always know that I am doing work worthy of that support. And then we got Olamide, and y'all, she is another person that their presence in my life humbles me, because I see her and I listen to her and we talk, and I'm like, yo, if I would have been this on my writing when I was a high school student, yo, what I could do. And it's like, yo, I want to help her get published. I want to help her stories get out there. Like, if there's anybody I want to win, it's like, yo, I want you to win, because I see so much potential. And the fact that she looks up to me, the fact that she, like, me and her go over our goals and things together, is such a humbling experience, because I admire her. And I admire the fire that I see in her at such a young age. I admire the self-determination I see in her. And I'm like, yo, if I could just have just a little bit of that at the 30-year-old self that I am, like, I would be all right. That book gonna get there and get out there and get published. Like, it'll be a thing if I just have a fraction of what O Monroe has. And then last but not least, I want to shout out my two critique partners, Britt Ridley and Day. Because I'm not sure if you want me to put your whole name out there. You know I love you. Because they asked me hard questions about my work and made me think in ways that I hadn't thought before. And the conversations I've had with them and the ability to get closer with them has reminded me that just because I have this tight circle doesn't mean that there's not room for more people in my life. It doesn't mean that there aren't more people who can pour into me and that can be a blessing to me, and I can be a blessing back to them. And so in this looking back and going forward moment, I look back on these foundational relationships that I've started, and going forward into 2021, I just want them to grow and blossom and be even greater and even more than they already are. And I'm super duper excited for that. Like, it makes me ecstatic. With the principle of Kujichagulia, I get excited because I was determined to be the change I wanted to see in the YouTube writing community. I was determined to find black writers. I was determined to finish a story. I was determined to be better than I was in 2019, and I did that. And so I'm just excited for what the new year holds. I thank you so much for being here on this journey with me. I thank you for watching this. I hope that you got a lot out of it, or at least got to see like a more personal side to me about how this year happened and what I'm looking back on and looking forward to. Alright, y'all, that's all I have for this video. I want to thank you so much for giving me some of your time. Now, later on today, we will have the live stream on my Bro Grayson Wild's channel, so definitely check that out. It will be at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I do thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!